we could get the service restored. So West Cork Tourism Ltd, which was a small lobbying group based in Skibbereen with tourism interests all over West Cork, basically coordinating tourism in the region, got together and made the momentous decision to form a cooperative to get 300 shares of €10,000 each. And the way we did that was targeting primarily, of course, tourism-based businesses, because they're going to benefit first and foremost from the service being restored. And then we went literally to every town and village and told the story and asked people if they could to come up with €10,000, and if they couldn't, to get together in smaller groups and syndicates and club together and make up the money. And we raised €2.7 million in cash to date, with more on its way in.
Isn't that fantastic? So where'd you get the rest of the money for the boat?
We got a loan. We got a loan of €6.3 million from a bank in Finland, and we purchased the ship for $7.8 million. So we negotiated a pretty good deal, down from $10 million to $7.8 million. And we're currently fundraising for working capital, and we've raised, since the ship came into Cork on the 25th of September, we've raised another $1 million since then, and we've more to come.
And will you be employing Irish people, or, dare I say it, will you be looking for cheaper labour elsewhere?
Well, we're currently employing probably 7 or 8 people in administration, sales and marketing, CEO, technical operations already in Cork. The crew, some of the technical crew will be UK, the masters, the captains, UK and Irish perhaps. We've got a purser who's Scottish. And we'll have crew which will be from the EU, from Eastern Europe, no doubt, because we're competing with Irish Ferries and with Stena Line, and we have to compete on costs. But the real job story, I guess, for Cork is the tourism-based jobs, those thousands and thousands of people who depend on tourism coming into Ireland, and it's safeguarding those jobs in 2010, and please God, building those jobs in years to come, because the ferry is worth, up to €50 million per year to this region. And that's the story. We want this ferry to continue for generations to come, and that's why we've got a co-op. We can't be taken over, we can't be bought out. It's up to the people to decide what they want to do with their ferry, and they clearly want it to run for generations to come.
And tell me, were you in the boat business before?
No, I wasn't. I have been involved in the tourism business, bringing people into Ireland with an internet-based tourism company, but no, none of us who started this had any knowledge of ferries or shipping or anything to do with that. So it was we had quite a learning curve as we were going through the legal process of purchasing the ship. But since then, we've appointed, a technical operations manager from within the ferry industry. We've got a CEO from the hospitality, leisure industry, and from hotels laterally. And we've put in place a fully professional company, Fastnet Line, to run the ferry, because we as a co-op don't know how to do that. But we'll be overseeing it for the people who own it, the people of primarily of West Cork.
For your shareholders, indeed, yeah. Well, it sounds like a fantastic idea. I really admire you, because it's a major undertaking, and I'm sure it wasn't plain sailing, if you'll excuse the phrase. I'm sure you must have come up against some obstacles along the way.
There were numerous obstacles along the way, Derek, but, I think when people get leadership, when they get a vision of what can happen, they back it, and the people know what the tourists mean to West Cork. They've missed those British yellow number plate cars coming into the area. It's been devastating for the tourism economy locally. And once you give people a vision, give them something to believe in, people respond with a heart and a half. And we had, people in business, but also people who had no, selfish financial interest in having the ferry return, doing it for the good of their communities. We've had community development associations. In every town and village, people have put some money into this because they know how much it means to jobs and job security and prosperity for everybody for the future.
Are you going to rename it?
No, I will keep her as MV Julia. One of the things we've discovered as you go along is that everything is linked in the shipping industry, and if you start changing the name, which is on the outside, it seems like a very simple thing to do. It also has to be changed in thousands and thousands of pages of safety manuals and signage and all sorts of things, so it ends up being an enormous cost, which is not something we knew at the time. So for the moment, she'll stay as MV Julia.
I just thought the People's Ship or something like that might be a nice name for it.
Well, we can have that as the nickname for it. Yeah. In fact, it's already been proposed. So
there you go. Okay, right, very good. And have you been on it yourself? I mean, I know you all know all about it, but have you actually sailed on it itself?
Yes. When the ship came down from Finland, she stopped off in Swansea on the way back down in September to do docking trials in the Ro-Ro berth in Swansea. And then she spent a few days in the inner harbour in Swansea, showing her off to the people of Swansea. We had a public meeting in Swansea with some of our shareholders who are based over there, and also with some of the business people Cork on the 25th of September, which is St Finbarr's Day, so it's quite an auspicious day to bring her in.
Indeed it is. And were you very proud?
Extremely proud. I think it's been such a struggle and such a complicated process buying a ferry with all the safety and regulatory hurdles that you need to overcome. It was an immensely proud moment to bring her into Cork, to show her to the people, and especially to the people who had put the money in and who believed in her, because they're the real heroes in this story. People who, back at the beginning of in the teeth of a recession, decided to put their money in what at the time was a dream, and to see that dream realised, and to see people in tears on the quay wall looking as the ship came in was just a terrific honour and privilege.
Well, we hope to be there with you on the day you make your first sailing, which is the 1st of March. Do you know what day that is, just out of curiosity?
It's a Monday.
It's a Monday. And how long will it take? What time will you leave?
It'll leave at 9 o'clock at night, and it's a 10-hour crossing over to Swansea. So we'll be arriving in Swansea the day after St David's Day, but we'll bring them some daffodils.
Oh, very good. Well, listen, Paul, the very best of luck to you and to all of the members of the West Cork Tourism Co-op, and the very best of sailing to anyone who goes on board the MV Julia when it sets sail on the 1st of March from Cork to Swansea. And we hope everybody has a safe and pleasant crossing, and we'll be there with you on the night, okay? Paul, Great. Thank you very much indeed.